Hey everyone, Ryan Young, Kama Jiu-Jitsu. And I hope you're doing well. And I want to thank you for all the questions and comments you put on our videos. It really helps to help us it gives us an idea of what kind of things you're looking for us to do on the channel. I guess the next question I'm going to cover for today is something that was actually brought to me by a friend of mine out in Philadelphia named Hugo Fernandez. And the question that he had for me was, when is it okay for a white belt to start rolling, as we say? For us, it's training, but some schools call it rolling. The first answer to that is not on day one. A lot of people come into class or they take their free trial class and they get taught, they go through the warm-up, they get taught their whatever the basic fundamental thing that the instructor wants them to learn, and then they line everybody up, that person included, and they say start training. Well, this person learned one thing. I can tell you the very first thing that I learned when I was training was how to do a cross collar choke from the mount, an armbar from the mount, and an Americana from the mount. That was my very first day. Well, when it came time to train, I didn't know how to do any of it. And well, actually I did, because I learned how to do it. But the problem was I never was able to get to mount on somebody so that I could do those. And nobody was going to give it to me. And I had no idea what to do to earn the position of mount so that I could do what I was being taught that day. So it really wasted my time. And in fact, I didn't know anything, and it was rough, in that school that I was at. And it was kind of like a fight. I mean, that's what I was thinking too, because I'd get smashed, and I don't know any techniques, but all I can do is I can just try to fight to try to get out of it. And sometimes it would work out for me, sometimes it wouldn't. Most times it wouldn't. So if you fast forward to today, you have a white belt come into a class, we don't let them train on the first day. I don't even let them train maybe in the first month or two. Unless they've trained elsewhere, then they kind of know a little bit on how to be safe. But for somebody who's a brand new person, never trained before, we don't let them do it. We make sure that they learn all the defense. Now, of course, you're not going to be really good at it. You're not going to be black belt level at the defense part, but at least you'll be very familiar with the defense, and you'll know what's coming. So when somebody's got you in an armbar from mount, you know what's coming. If somebody's got you in an armbar from guard, you know it's coming. That's half the battle. Now, if you know what's coming, you can at least tap to it. We always try to tell white belts, look, don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be a tough guy. We're just trying to learn how to do techniques here, and I don't want you to get hurt. At the same time, if a blue belt is training with a white belt, they're not allowed to hurt anybody. It's just a thing. You're a blue belt now. You know what this white belt is going through. There is absolutely no reason you should hurt him, even by accident. But you need to protect yourself when training against white belts, because they can hurt you. Because you may be going easy with them. You may be giving them a position or going easy on them, letting them move, and they may move in such a spastic way that they might strike you by accident, or they might poke your eye, or unintentionally, or they may roll you over in a way that you weren't ready for, and you might pop your wrist. And the reason why a white belt might do that is because he hasn't been drilled enough on the correct way to relax, the correct way to position themselves, the correct way to defend, and the correct way to escape. If you give a white belt something he's never seen before, he's apt to go apeshit, right? On the other hand, if they've seen the mount with the choke being sunk in 30, 40, 50 times by then, they're not going to panic. Now, granted, you as the blue belt will probably tap them anyway, and the white belt knows that, but at least the white belt will be trying to do the correct thing to escape. Whereas a white belt who's in his first day, first week, maybe even first month, they may get put into a position that they've never seen before, and let's say they're in some armbar position that they've never seen, and there's really only two ways they can move. If they move one way, they'll escape. If they move the other way, something will pop. If they don't know what's coming on, and then you do that to them, then they won't know when to tap a lot of times, because they don't know what's coming. Or let's say they know they're caught and they just end up going crazy. I mean, you have the arm locked up. There's nowhere they can go, so you think, until they move in that direction that you think, oh shoot, you went that way, and then now the person's they have to get ice in their arm, and now they're going to be out for a month or two. And that's when they call up and they say, hey Ryan, you know what, jiu-jitsu's not for me. It just, you know, I got hurt, and yeah, I didn't plan on getting hurt like this, right? So you have enough turnover in your school. You realize that you need to protect everyone. Granted, jiu-jitsu is very dangerous, but it can be even more dangerous. And one way you make it even more dangerous is have somebody who is not ready to train, go and train. In answer to the question, when is somebody ready? It really depends. And what it depends on is, does that person know how to defend themselves when they're in a bad position? And if not yet that, do they at least know that they're in a bad position? And they recognize it, and then can they tap when they know that they're stuck? Rather than making a rash move or a sudden move or an explosive move that could be the wrong thing, make sure, or that person, you know, knows themselves, okay, you know what, I'm in trouble here, I should just tap here and let me ask questions on what I need to do for the next step. If a person at a white belt level knows that and can rationalize that and can do it in the heat of training, then they're ready. Simple as that. If somebody tells you, an instructor tells you, oh no, yeah, you just gotta roll and you'll catch on. Maybe. But the question is, will you become injured before you catch on? Or will you be able to be injury-free and then eventually catch on? I don't know, right? It's kind of a crapshoot. Maybe, maybe not. What I figure, and what we figure here at Kama Jiu-Jitsu is, just don't let them be put in that position. Let us teach you to the point where we're comfortable, and then you'll train. And I haven't had anybody tell me, you're holding me back from training for too long. Nobody's ever told me that. And it's because they understand. And it's a matter of me having them understand why we do it this way. And once you do that and you set the expectation, then things are pretty easy. So anyway, Hugo, I hope that answered your question. In the meantime, let us know what else you've got. Shoot us a like if you like this, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, just so you can get the rest of the videos as we make them. Anyway, it's late, and I gotta get home. I wanna thank you guys for joining us. Happy training, take care, bye-bye.